regard to element 8 emergency preparedness. So there are many observations with regard to the drills, the timings, and then it is compared with the rest hour of the crew, right? And then that's how the 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 auditors got the proof. And then with regard to the element 9 incident NC, as mentioned before, is it the NC has been closed, the superintendent visit has been closed by the ship's crew prior the internal audit, icing audit. Yes.
Right. Right. Very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Excellent. Very good. So these are some of the things that coming from all of you, the experience very good. So if there's nothing more from anybody on 8 and 9, or rather please put it on 6, 7, 8 and 9. If you have nothing, then we can move on. Right. Okay. So then element 10, this is about maintenance, right? So what are the things that you check here? Please check out, whether maintenance on board the vessel. And as per PMS, that all everything is now in the PMS. So whether it's LSA, FFA, machinery space, so the maintenance has been sort of, the intervals have been defined. So whether it's being carried out as per PMS, right? And as the what do you call it, if there's inspections to be conducted, for example, LSA, FFA equipment inspections, are these being conducted? Any non-conformity is reported and action is taken and closed out. So, so this also needs to be sort of checked, under the section of maintenance, right? And in the same section, you can also check whether they have, like in this 10.3, that relates to what is called as critical machinery, critical equipment, and critical alarms. Richard, are you familiar with this term, critical machinery, right? I'm sure you're familiar because you're a chief engineer and critical machinery, critical equipment, and critical alarm. Yes, Richard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you're familiar with that. So do you have you seen something like a minimum what you call critical spares required to be carried on the ship?
Yes, sir. Because there are two trades coming from the companies that they're jumping among the digital equipment and the critical care situation for every physical equipment.
Right, right. And what is the criteria used for identifying critical machinery, equipment, and alarms? What criteria do you think is appropriate to use? I mean, like for example, if we say that the microwave oven in the mess room is not critical, but let's say the what you call the oily water separator is critical. So what is the criteria used to differentiate? Both are equipment. Why do we say the microwave oven is not critical, but the what you call oily water separator or the oil mist detector is critical, or the high level alarm in the bilge is critical?
It only treats themselves with all the 50 equipment for that purpose.
Yeah, so we are saying that microwave oven is not critical because if the microwave oven fails and it does not work, it does not jeopardize the safety of the crew and the safety of the vessel. But if the oil mist detector doesn't work, or if the oily water separator does not work, or if the lifeboat cannot be launched, then it jeopardizes the safety of the crew and the vessel. Correct?
That's correct.
Right? So ideally, what is the process that we can use? The process of risk assessment. That means we use the risk assessment. The failure of a microwave, what are the risks? The failure of lifeboat engine, what are the risks? Right. So on the basis of that, the company can define what is critical and what is not critical. Okay. And yeah. Okay. Why is it that we need to test lifeboats so frequently? Let's go to Nadia, Captain Noor Nadia. One question: why is it that we have to test lifeboat engines maintenance, regularly, or emergency generator also, emergency fire pump, that carry out regular checks. Why do we check that?
Different criteria in case of emergency, in case of we need to use it, is readily available. We know
Yeah.
is ready to be used in emergency.
Yeah, but exits we don't check. Gyro we don't check like that. Why do we check on lifeboat exits?
Like you said before, it's how should I say, like criticals, like is involved the safety of the ship personnel in the emergency.
No, but even the gyro and exits is also important for safety of navigation. So
Is it life saving equipment?
No, but what do you mean by life saving? Even the gyro, if it doesn't work or the exit doesn't work, it can jeopardize the life. It can drown the vessel, or harm can come to the vessel, isn't it? So why is it that we test lifeboat engine, we test emergency generator? Okay, just see on the screen.
Yeah, so you have highlighted that promoting the reliability of not and continuous use.
Not in continuous use. You are using gyro, exit, auxiliary engine, main engine, but we are not using emergency generators. We are not using life protection. We are not using a quick closing valve. So these are not in continuous use, but they are there only for the sake of emergency. Correct? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So because they are only there, lifeboat engine and lifeboat, you only need if suppose you abandon the ship. So if we say just hypothetically, we build 100 ships, right? 90, maybe 98 of the ships go to the scrapyard, to the graveyard with the lifeboat. Maybe one or two ships have vanished because they had to abandon the ship. So, but still, we have to check the lifeboat. Why? Because in that unforeseen circumstances, that the captain needs the lifeboat to abandon the ship. If the lifeboat engine is not working, or if the David can't launch the lifeboat, or if the lifeboat doesn't have adequate gear inside and equipment, then it can jeopardize the safety of the crew. And for that unforeseen circumstances or that unforeseen day, uh, we we promote the reliability by regular checks of the standby arrangement, not in continuous. Okay, all good, everybody. Element 10, anybody would like to add what else are auditable in maintenance? What else would you like to audit in maintenance? Element 10, anyone? Yes, Montero, would you like to add something? Then we'll go to Nicole.
Defect list.
Defect list, yes, very good. So that in every ship and every company, they will have a means of reporting all the defects, and repairing them. So it's mentioned here, section the L non-criminal report, and anything that's reported, it should be recorded, and activity record of these activities. When was it found defective? When was it fixed up, etc., etc. So defect list needs to be continuous. It's like a kind of defect list on board a vessel remains from cradle to grave, right? Till the time the vessel is scrapped, the defect list continues, right? Because it is like an industry, it's like a floating industry. So something or the other is always, breaking down, or if not regularly, then at least at some interval. Yeah. Yes, let's go to Nicole. Nicole, how are you? And what is your opinion? Anything that you'd like to add here in terms of checks and the maintenance?
Uh, as what I can see, we can check there's set PMS, plant maintenance system. So we can check if there are any overuse or maintenance.
Right. Very good. Excellent. And we go to Captain Swami. So, Captain Swami, your office, your structure and your piloted services, right? What is it that you think should be checked under element 10? Of course, I mean, ISM may not apply to unlimited services as such, right? But just just to sort of widen the perspective, what do you think would perhaps come under the funded services in terms of maintenance and checks and equipment, etc.?
So I believe when I site, we have to check our life jacket, especially, and then as a practice, we are doing the annual routines and maintenance lah for checking the what you call the CO2 bottle, the condition, etc. And then the lifespan of the life jacket itself. And then the communication, the walkie-talkies, also I Malay. And then for our during the transiting, also we have to check our condition of our tugboat, especially the fender condition. And then when for bidding also we have to check the condition of the fender condition of the jetty itself, the bus itself.
Yeah, very
Then
good.
something the quick release hook. I mean for my terminal they are using quick release hook. It was a maintenance done by our team also, the engineering department.
Right.
So if any issue, we have to raise the issue to the engineering department.
Right. Okay, Captain Swali, thank you. And Captain Zhao, ISM shipping, how are you? Anything you want to add in maintenance? What items can be checked in the maintenance on the ship other than already discussed? Anything you want to add, Captain Zhao?
Yeah, you take the maintenance and check some cameras and evidence for some spare.
Okay, tell me one thing, Captain Zhao. You sailing from which year to which year?
Uh, sorry?
You started sailing which year? Started.
Which year?
As cadet, you started which year? Sailing. Which year you step ashore? Okay, which year you come ashore?
Which year country?
Coming ashore. You are ashore, isn't it? You are in the office, right?
Okay. I will answer.
No. I'm asking something. Now you are in office in China, correct?
Yeah.
Before this, on the ship, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
So before this, you are sailing on ship as captain, correct?
Yeah, I get no shipping.
Yeah. So captain, you finished captain which year and come ashore?
And the 2 year, yeah.
Go
3 years
on,
short.
or 3 years ashore. Okay.
Yeah.
Come ashore.
But for Chinese vessel, only a nation vessel and before 1 year and 1 month before 1 month I joined this company for foreign services. I'm sorry, that's the occurrence.
Okay, good, thank you. Right, so we go to element 11 now, and element 11 we will not do now. There is a separate presentation for that. I'll give you time for a 12-minute presentation. Element 11, element this call on document control and what's the record. We'll be talking about this.
Sorry, sir. Maybe my audio got disturbed. The element 9, if somebody already told this, like critical equipment testing and all. So checking the record of only testing maybe not enough. Like when fire pump test, emergency fire pump tested, that is okay. But when tested, what was the pressure? How quick the pressure came, safe emergency compressor. So must check that parameters also when it was last tested. So not only testing date, but what parameters were there during the testing time, that is also body table to confirm
Okay.
that students are not
Okay, very good. Jitendra, you tell me one thing. You come up with a very good point for element 10. Okay, so excellent. One thing. I want you to give us a little bit more in depth onto this, right? Okay. So we are looking at the element. So we are looking at element 10. So you very correctly mentioned that, suppose there is testing of, for example, a pump, right? You said, right? Now, you mentioned for a pump very clearly that the testing should involve checking the pressure, right?
Right.
Checking the pressure and for how long the pressure was,
How long it took to achieve that pressure with the emergency pump was started,
right?
like all these things.
How long it took, very good, to achieve that pressure. Very good. I'm just writing in this point because we will discuss all these very nice inputs that you are giving in tomorrow when we are assessing the effectiveness. What else? I mean, just in an emergency platform, how long it took to realize that pressure? That's
And
one.
also, like whether testing was done in ballast or loaded, then only you can compare the result with the previous result, whether it is deteriorating or it is maintaining same. Like in ballast condition, it will take longer time. In loaded condition, it will come up quickly. So yeah, conditions.
So basically, you're talking about the ballast pump or the fire pump, right?
No. I mean to say whether the testing was done in ballast condition or in loaded condition.
Right,
So the
right.
emergency
So
platform.
in ballast, the pump would certainly take much longer, and you get that pressure because of the
Draft.
water height,
Draft,
draft,
yeah.
and the current. The water head is also less, and ballast or loaded condition. By the way, tell me one thing. All these points that you are mentioning, you are telling me, and they are very relevant. I'm a tanker man, so I can understand that. But I want to ask you that, like, you go on a board of vessel, you are saying that I will check. But do you believe that this should be a part of the checklist? And do you
No,
have it as
this
a
is-
part of the checklist?
Yeah, this is like we have a monthly test checklist for critical equipment. One part of that is also the performance check of the critical equipment. Also, monthly. I think that is TMS requirement nowadays for the tankers. Of course, it is applicable. I'm not sure about the bulk area and all. So, critical equipment test and check and critical equipment performance check. Two things are there, which we can always refer to confirm on this part.
So basically, you are saying that in your company, you do have a performance testing format or a check to be carried out maybe once in a quarter or monthly or whatever. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so as auditors, what you would be doing is just pulling up that checklist to actually check whether that is being properly followed or not, right?
Right.
So yeah, so this is a very important point. What he has come up with, Jitendra, on the part that when you're auditing, you just don't check records whether it's done, but what you have to check is how effectively it's done. We'll be talking about this effectively tomorrow, and this is the crux of auditing. So anyway, I'm glad that you come up with a very important, good point here. Okay, good. So that's element 10, very nice. So element 11 and 12, I told you we would be looking at another presentation, so we'll skip that. And element 12 is about verification, review, and evaluation of the company. So in this, we will be talking about this auditing tomorrow. So auditing is addressed in the internal. We won't go much into 12.2 and 12.3 on auditing audit because we talk about it tomorrow morning. The only thing that is the requirement is you must know that audits on board and assured to be carried out to the audit period 12 months. That means if you have had an audit in the office on the 18th of March 2023, then you must complete your audit by the 17th, 18th March 2024. And similarly on the shift, right? There is no window period. Please remember this 3 months is only in exceptional circumstances you get this 3 months leeway. But it's not a window period. You don't have a window period like 12 months plus 3 months, right? So everybody clear on this element 12.1? Anyone would like to ask anything on So basically, when you go on board a ship, you can check actually when was the last audit carried out, and if you're in the office, check out when was the last audit, whether they're maintaining that 12 months, whether and then of course, whether the audits you've been checking on a weekly activity something tomorrow. So that part you can check the internal audit process you can do as per our discussions tomorrow morning, right? Yeah. And in case you find that some company, in case you find that some ship they've exceeded the 12 months or in the office they've exceeded the 12 months, then what was the exceptional circumstance? So, if they say, oh, non-availability of an internal auditor, that cannot be an exceptional circumstance. That should be considered as bad planning. An exceptional circumstance has to be something really exceptional, something where, you say that, okay, sorry, our ship was stuck in Red Sea and because of that, it was in a port, it was stuck there for 2 months, 3 months because of the war situation and nobody can go there, nobody can come out, so that's an exceptional circumstance. Okay, understandable. My ship was stuck in Black Sea in the war area and you couldn't do anything or whatever. Some exception, that was circumstance, has to be exceptional. Okay, so any questions, element 12, before we move on? Oscar, anything from you? Yes, Oscar, that's good. Oscar, do you hear us?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yeah, anything from you on what we've done so far? Anything that you'd like to clarify? Anything that you'd like to add in terms of checks to be carried out as an auditor?
Nothing, sir. Only thing is that it makes a difference when the master marine is conducting the internal audit and the chief engineer is conducting. So we need to focus more on those points.
So, do you think so that whether a master or a chief engineer will make a difference when it's conducting audit? Bhaskar is saying he's got a relevant point that if it's a master conducting an audit of an engine room or a chief engineer conducting a navigation audit on the bridge, so will it make a difference? Uh,
Okay. Yeah, see, definitely we'll be going by the checklist what we have, irrespective of the rank. But when a technical person is checking the navigation part, I think there is a little bit problem
Okay.
there.
No, I agree with you. You are right that when chief engineer audits the navigation bridge, right? So, okay. So you have a very much important thing that you mentioned. Well, you're right that there is a checklist, but there is a marginal difference. I agree that there is a slight difference that we make, but it won't be very big. In other words, I have done about close to 100 industrial projects since 1995 on ISO standard. Right? I was on the early bird. In my last so many years, and these are non-marine, and the marine is about 70 plus, but the non-marine is manufacturing and service sector. So I mean, it could be a plywood manufacturer, it could be a pharmaceutical industry, it could be a steel industry, it could be a software industry, it could be a chemical industry, it could be it could be what you call an educational institute. So I have a very very vast experience there, very diversified. So, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about software. I know nothing about pharma, or I know nothing about how plywood is manufactured. Right? But during the course of consultancy, I would definitely understand that. Consultancy lasts for 6 to 8 months, and then I would in a position to conduct an internal audit. So I do agree there is a certain amount of gaining more awareness as a consultant you want. But for a chief engineer master, I think they're not too bad because they're scaling out ships. I think the only place where the chief engineer can have a bit of a problem on the bridge is typically maybe something on the exit side maybe something there, navigation little bit there, and Similarly, the captain may have a little bit of a problem understanding some of the technicalities in the engine room as well when it comes to operations and maintenance. And so sometimes they may try to stick to the book, and that may not be correct. But 80 to 90%, the audit is an audit of the system and not really of the process. So it's not really of the technicality. But yes, because of that little bit of deficiency in the domain, but it will certainly make a bit of a difference, right? This will cover that. But not big difference. Okay. So that feedback has come from Oscar. And Sergi, anything you would like to add before we move on to the next slide?
No, everything is excellent. I mean, whole team give a lot of introduction and all speak correct things. That's everything. I think everything went.
Okay, right, Sergi, thank you very much. So now we are looking on the screen as to what are the 2015 amendments. There the ISO code had two amendments in 2015, right? And in 2021, the cybersecurity came first Jan, and then two amendments in 2015. So one amendment is in element 622. Now we are all familiar with this so-called safe operation, minimum safe manning, minimum safe manning. So what is the difference? Let's see, Captain. No, I won't discuss Captain. Definitely, I'll try and see somebody from a shipping company because you are in the office and you all have much more experience and matters. So we'll take somebody who's been long in the office, and we will go to Swaminathan. Swaminathan has been quite long in the office. He's been there since 2005. So, Swaminathan, can you tell us, you are familiar with the term minimum safe manning, right? You're all familiar with that minimum safe manning, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So, Swaminathan, can you tell me, are you familiar with this minimum safe operational manning 622? Have you heard of this? Minimum safe operational manning.
This is for the safe operation of the system.
Right.
This is the requirement.
Yeah, I mean, like, what is the additional manning that you need to ensure? Because, see, you have to have, suppose the minimum safe manning is 15%. So, you will definitely have 15, right? But the operations of the board, yeah, that's a flag requirement. Great. Minimum is a flag requirement. So, this 622 minimum safe operational manning, have you addressed it? Are you familiar with this requirement?
Yeah, that is the company, as a company.
As a company.
As a company, we itself, for say the football game, or chemical company, depending on the state. The flag may say that we do review, we do consider that additional provision, of course, this department, and they make a minimum operation for all.
There you are. So all of you clear? This is the requirement 62 very well explained by Swaminathan that he says that in our company we have procedures that based on our operations, like we might have STF operations or we might have some operations where we need more crew and more officers to be added over and above the existing manning, and that we call it as safe operational manning. And the crux of that whole thing is based on the fact that increase your manning in a manner that you can ensure the rest as per SCCWS standards. That means there is compliance with the minimum rest hour requirement as per SCCWS. So that's an indicator that you are complying with the 622, right? So that's called as safe operational manning. And what you're familiar with the flag safe, that is the minimum safe manning. And this is minimum or required or minimum safe operational manuals, right? Well, we did generally always before the minimum safe manual. And like 12.2 is something that is regarding um, auditing or monitoring the performance of your suppliers and subcontractors. Say, the big shipping company has suppliers and subcontractors like shipyard, planning agents, LSA, FFA, maintenance agency, bunker suppliers, agency services, ship chandlers, right? They're all providing an important service to a shipping company, and there is a need to monitor their performance. There is a need to monitor their performance. And Alfie, can you tell us why do we need to monitor their performance? You're paying them money they're supposed to do. Why do you need to monitor their performance? Alfie? Anyone? And we can check with Alfie then. Yeah.
Yes, Captain, I did about this 12.2 performance of supplier and service provider. So we need to regularly check their performance because at the end they are also affecting our systems. They are supplying correct or not, or they are safe or not. Every month or at least once a year we should do
Right,
we
very
should conduct audit.
Alfie, Alfie, you are with this company Seller based in Indonesia.
Yes, correct, sir. In Indonesia, sir.
That's the tanker operator, right?
Correct, sir. Like
Okay, so very good. Alfie has given a very good explanation as to why we need that. And Alfie, one more question I want to ask you. 12.2 you explained. Why does you have PMSA audits in office, Alfie?
MSI, yes, we have that. Sir.
Okay. Why does oil major come to audit you?
Because they see they need to feel safe. They need to have some standardization. Yeah, they need to be sure they are hiring the
Your company, yeah, they need to make sure that the company they are utilizing to carry their oil is safe, adequate to take a risk with. That means, is this partner worthy enough to sign a deal with, right? So that's why the DMSA audit is conducted. So just like an oil major conducts a DMSA audit in your office, you also conduct an audit of the manning agency to ensure that the manning agency or the shipyard or the supplier are providing you the correct service and they're in a position to actually give you good quality service, right? And very important, the thing is, if you don't monitor, then you will have to pay for their losses. That means their mistakes eventually land up in your bottom line profits. Okay, all good, everybody? All clear? Okay, good. So with that, we wrap up ISM and then we move on to ISPS. Right, so this is how it